don't be scared. It's just your favorite pair of girlfriends and boyfriends. Give you another Wednesday, another episode of The Inner Circle. How are you, circle friends? How are you, best friend? It's hump day.
I'm good. It's hump day. Can't wait for this week to be over. Can't wait for it to get back to the... I'm going to complain about this fucking weather.
What you mean?
It went up from like mid-50s, like 60s, and now it's like back to 80. Like we're in the third summer. I am sick of this shit. I'm tired of sweating. I'm tired of the humidity. Like I'm tired. And luckily next week will be better. But
yeah, it's gonna cool down again next week. But I mean, yeah, like we said it last week. We came back from Dallas. Fall started that week, and we came to New York. Like fall was showing itself, and then it's like Sunday
back
came.
Back to basics.
Sunday popped up, and after like a stormy last week too, and back to a third little summer. Summer's trying. Summer is trying. But how was your weekend? How was your last few days?
My weekend was good. I mean, Saturday and Sunday, wasn't it like really bad rain?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was really bad rain with the flooding.
Shame on you, NYC, for not canceling New York public schools. Shame on ya.
Well, that, and also, I guess they had to cancel the trains, no? I don't know. I worked from home Friday, and I knew it was going to be bad.
You said it, yeah, you said it. I'm like, I'm working from home. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, this bitch. I got to go with these kids.
I'd be right. No, but honestly, like, I stayed home. I didn't want to go outside. I was binge watching Pose. I started watching it again.
You rewatched it?
Yeah, I rewatched it. But Sunday, I went to brunch with my girlfriends, and then we hung out at her rooftop. That was fun because the weather was really nice. Mm-hmm. But other than that, just this week has been kicking my ass at work. We're gearing up for events happening in hospitality right now. There's like the tabletop event where we showcase like the new product that we have in new collections and tableware. And yeah, it's a lot. There's a lot of in and out and a lot of like working. It's too much.
Big boy, big girl's responsibilities. Career girl, honey.
I want to be a little girl.
With me, like you said, stormy weekend. I'm very balanced. I don't know if it's Libra season. I don't know what's going on in the universe, but I'm just feeling very balanced. Yeah, Libra season. Very balanced with just in my being, with just everything. So this weekend was balanced, a little bit of relax, but also getting things done, laundry, some cleaning, some fall, people call it spring cleaning. There's also fall cleaning, getting rid of clothes, rearranging clothes. I got rid of 2 big bags that I donated. So that was that. But then Sunday, it was beautiful, like we said. So I had to go out there. As you know, I have my bike now. I've had a bike for a few years, but for 2 years, it was just sitting there. Finally, I had it fixed in August, and now I love riding my bike. I love it. It's a great form of exercise, and I just love riding my bike. I really enjoy it. So I did that Sunday. And then yesterday, as you know, I went on a me day. And again, me dates are so important, whether you're single, whether you're in a relationship or not. I think me dates are important. Dates where you just go by yourself for dinner or to a movie. And I went to see Saw X, which was really good. The new Saw, yeah. The 10th one, yeah. The 10th one.
So that's the number. So the X is supposed to be the Roman numeral 10, basically. So Saw 10. Oh, yeah. God. That's a lot. That is so mainstream.
Well, funny enough, 2004 was the first one. The year I graduated high school. So here we are almost, 20 years later? 2024 is next year. So it's like the franchise is still going, but I do have to say, for real, and it's not me being biased that I love horror movies, Saw 3D sucked. I'm going to say it. Saw before this one kind of sucked. Then there was a spin-off with Chris Rock called Spiral. That was decent. That came out last year in May. I was a little nervous when I heard that there was a new Saw. I thought it may be whack or just fuck it up more or too campy, but it was pretty good. This, not to give too much away, and I will leave it at this for anyone who's interested, but this song takes place between part one or part two and three of the original, or part one of the two of the original. I know people who don't like Saw, like, what the fuck is he talking about? But for the people who do, that's that. But it was good. Went to see that yesterday. Me dates are very important, so I implore everyone, whether you're single or taken, have me dates, even if it's once a month. Have a me date.
Self-care day.
Yeah, it's fun. Listen, I used to be 18, 19, 20, and I used to sometimes see people when I would go out with friends or whoever at that time that will have dinner by themselves. And I'm not gonna lie, like I judged them or thought people like that were weird, but one, don't judge. And I'm gonna knock myself down a peg, but like judging is not cool because I now, years later, think that that is needed sometimes. Going out by yourself to eat. So what? Going out to a show, a movie, to the park, laying out. Like, it's needed. I really do think it's needed. What do you think?
When I went to brunch with my friend, I saw that there was like a guy sitting in the table adjacent to us, and he was basically on his phone. I don't know if he was like reading something or if he was just like on social media, but he also was by himself and he like ordered food, ate his food, had a drink, and like bounced. I thought it was fine. Like me personally, I haven't actually, I lie, I have done it before, but I think that I enjoy the comfort of others. However, I do realize that it is important to like be able to go somewhere and do things on your own. And you don't always have to like be accompanied by someone. My mom put it this way one time. She was like, "You're born alone. You're gonna die alone. Like, if you can't do things by yourself."
That is such a cancer thing of her. This whole lone wolf. All cancers love that whole "I'm a lone wolf" type of vibe.
Yeah.
So yeah,
she's
most cancers. I don't want to say all, and then people come at me, but most cancers. But there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being a lone wolf.
Yeah, because I used to tell her like, "Oh, I want to do things like I want to go here, but I don't want to go alone." So she was the one that kind of encouraged me to do that. But I think as you get older, you don't give a fuck as much as like you were once before.
When you're younger, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think that's great. I like to shop by myself. I do not like shopping with people because I like to take my time. I like to like check out things and not have other people's opinions. So,
especially your boyfriend nagging you. Because you girls get nagged by boyfriends big time. When it comes to shopping, boyfriends hate shopping with girlfriends. Gays, I think gays like shopping together, but a boyfriend and a girlfriend.
Yeah, me and Ralph can tear up a store, but me I dated guys before that actually like shopping more than me, and I was just like, have fun. I'll be in like Claire's or something like. Yeah.
Not Claire's.
To each their own.
But no, but you know, I do agree with your mom. I do agree, like, you know, going out and stuff, doing that is important and it's not weird or anything. Especially dinner. Like again, I feel bad that I used to have conversations and judge people like, oh, that's weird that they by themselves. But now it's like, no. It's good sometimes. But speaking of dinner and dinner parties and such, we were talking about our dream, or do you want to set it up like our dream guests?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
First of all, I lied to you because I went back to the list and I added like 5 more names. So
it's okay.
Okay, so
because I was gonna say real quick, I'm sorry not to cut you off, but I was gonna say what I consider a dinner party is more than 4 people, basically 5 people or more. That's what I consider a dinner party. What's your number for that? If it's 4 people, that's a double date. I'm sorry, that's not a dinner party.
4 to 5 people. I mean, you included as 5 people.
5. There you go. Exactly. That's a dinner party. Yep. Go ahead.
But I didn't necessarily think like, oh, you need to have multiple people. I just thought like if you're having a dinner party, you can have as many people as you want, but you want to have a dinner party guest come on that is, I don't know if I explained this to you, but my list involves people that are either dead, unfortunately passed, or fictional characters, like someone from a book, someone from a TV show, a movie. I chose all in true fashion, I chose all musicians except two. Okay, do you want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, you may not you might know these people and you're gonna be like, okay, that's weird. But it's an eclectic mix. I was in my rainy grunge feels. So number one, this is my go-to person that I love. He's an idol of mine, and you know because you bought me his books, Anthony Bourdain.
Mhm.
I would love to have him as a dinner party guest because one, dinner with him, he was a chef and he knows his way around a kitchen. The second one would be, I wish I saw this musician when he was alive. I wish I saw him in concert, George Michael. I've always loved George Michael. I had the biggest crush on George Michael before I found out he was gay. Um,
I
the
have
next,
a crush on George Michael before I knew he was gay too.
yeah. The next one, it would be, I'm torn because I have like four more, but I don't want to go through four.
No, go say throw
You
them out
sure?
there. Yeah,
All
I
right,
mean you don't have to go into specific with all of them, but yeah, throw
I
them out
won't.
there.
So Chris Cornell, which was one of my favorite lead
Okay.
singers of Soundgarden.
Good looking guy. I used to think he was
So
hot.
fine. I love a man with light eyes and dark hair.
And then the
That's
dark hair.
my
Oh my
jam.
God! You just took it out of my head.
Mm,
Twins.
Speaking of, we'll talk about this off the record. Anyway, the next one. This is because I was watching this documentary, this weekend, and like whenever I'm like kind of bummed or like I just want to see something that like makes me feel, back in the day, New York vibes. I was watching Paris is Burning.
Mm-hmm. You love that movie.
I literally have the physical DVD copy. Venus Extravaganza. I feel like she would be the life of the party. And she was basically like, she was a standout person to me in that documentary. The next one, well, I'll say the last one. The last one is Amy Winehouse.
Oh, good one.
Because she could be singing the tunes on a piano.
Randomly, I could just see her busting out in music. Oh, she's a good party. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, yeah, I like Amy Winehouse.
And she was very funny. What sign was she?
I think a Virgo. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe she's a Virgo. I believe she was a Virgo. With me, you pose this question. I'm like, okay, I like this. And I started thinking, and we were talking about it a little bit, messaging each other about it. And you were like, oh, just three or whatever. And I'm like, oh, okay. Because I just had three when you said that. But I still had like other lingering ones. But obviously, I mean, I'm just going to say at the top of my list, Britney Spears obviously would be there at this dinner party. So that's an obvious. I'm not going to even go into specifics why. Next, Rue McClanahan, a.k.a. Blanche from the Golden Girls.
Blanche Devereaux.
Blanche Devereaux. Not only is she a Pisces like me, but I read her autobiography as well. I have her autobiography. And I thought it was such a great book. I thought she was a fascinating woman. Being fellow Pisces and stuff, I get inspired just by the words of people like not giving up and it's not too late to start and such. So she would be someone that I would just love to have there. And I can just see her being so motherly and just having so much wisdom and knowledge. Another person, and you're going to be surprised by this. You're going to be surprised by this one. Albert Einstein. Seriously, Albert Einstein. Yeah. Another Pisces, but I mean, hello, Albert Einstein. Fucking iconic. Like, he's inventor and like sometimes kooky weird people intrigue me. Sometimes those kooky weird people that some people look at like, oh, they're weird thing, but sometimes it's just like, just because they're kooky and weird doesn't mean they're like, sometimes those people are brilliant, obviously in his case.
Speaking of kooky and weird, I forgot to mention Andy Warhol. He would be a good one too.
At your dinner party? Yeah. So Albert Einstein, and obviously also, I mean, let's call it a fucking Pisces fish fest for the most part. Bad Bunny, obviously, he would have to be at that party. And also because most likely after the party, I wanted to turn into a sex party with him. But and if we have to throw someone else out there, just bonus, because we were talking about him a little earlier too. And I think, from a little kid, I've looked up to him and like been in awe of him and growing up with this person and like just what they've done with their empires. Like, I'm like, I want to be that. I want to create an empire like that. RuPaul.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my little dinner party.
Good job. You chose people that are alive.
No. Rue
Some of
McClanahan
them.
is dead. Albert Einstein is dead.
Only 2 dead bodies. All right. No, but that was cool. That's a good list.
Yeah. It would be a interesting dinner party. But speaking of Bad Bunny, well, it's official. Him and Kendall are together. You seen their Gucci shoot together?
I don't think that means that they're official, but yeah, I guess they're kicking it.
Are good kicking it. I love, yeah. And listen, he's a Pisces, so that could very well be that kicking it. Our good Judy Rouse says that Bad Bunny and Kendall are each other's beards. If you don't know what beard means, I mean, go look it up. But yeah, I don't know. I hope that's the case. But if any Kardashian, if anyone's gonna have Bad Bunny, I don't mind it being Kendall, I guess. Whatever. I don't mind it being her.
She's the only one that I feel that like all her ex-boyfriends have just gone into the abyss. Like they haven't gone crazy. They haven't had any
they
issues.
continue on with their life.
Yeah. So I mean, whatever. She's good for them, I guess. But his song Un Preview. How do you feel about it? I know you like it.
I know I do like this song. Obviously, the song's about Kendall Jenner. It's like, I mean, if you're if you like Bad Bunny and you jam to his music, but you don't know what he's saying, cool, kudos. But let me tell you right now, the song's about Kendall Jenner. If you don't understand what he's saying, it's about her. We took a poll on our Inner Circle Instagram page, and I love polls because you get to see people's opinions and such. And some people think he needs a new sound, that it sounds repetitive. What's your thoughts?
I thought that it was a very like old school. No, not even old school Bad Bunny. It was very like meh. Like it seems like a filler song from an album.
I agree. I definitely agree.
I mean, the beat is cute, but like it wasn't anything memorable. I don't know.
But we'll see what this happens.
That's what you get when you're singing about someone that's not like all that.
And but I hope Kendall Jenner is wishing Bad Bunny and all the Latinos and Hispanics out there a happy Hispanic Heritage Month, which kicked off September 15th. Hispanic Heritage Month is celebrating between September 15th and October 15th, which is weird. I since we started this, it's weird that it's like a mid-month thing. But it was established by the U.S. Congress. It's an acknowledgement of the contribution that Hispanic culture has made and continues to make to this country. Hispanic Heritage Month goal is to promote pride in diversity. So how do you feel about this? And really quick, because there's some people, and even me at some point, that's like, okay, what's the difference between Hispanic and Latino? So Hispanic refers to a person with ancestry from a country whose primary language is Spanish. Latino or Latinx, how we use it nowadays, and its various refers to a person with origins from anywhere in Latin America. Example, Mexico, South and Central America, and the Caribbean. How do you feel? Because I know you've seen some people put posts like Puerto Ricans, because I feel like out of all Latinos, Puerto Ricans, we like the most prideful and ready to raise our flag and post it. But some Dominicans as well I've seen posting their flag in honor of Hispanic Heritage Month. I know there's some people out there that did not agree with that much. How do you feel about that?
Well, when I first heard about Hispanic Heritage Month, I was under the impression, and from the research that I did, was that it was basically representing and showing like gratitude and basically awareness to countries in like the Americas, like Nicaragua. Yeah, I have a list.
And the reason
basically Nicaragua, Panama, Paraguay, Peru, like all those in South America. And
I'm asking my own question right now, not to cut you off, but the reason why I guess they picked those dates, those weird odd dates, mid-September through mid-October, and maybe it has something to do with some of the research you was looking at, including some of those places you mentioned. It's because a lot of those countries gain independence at some point or another during that time. So that's why. But at the end of the day, it's more all Hispanic, Latinx, etc., not just those.
So yeah, basically that they're representing the countries, most of the countries in South America that gained their independence and
during that time.
During that time, yeah. But then you can't represent Hispanic countries without speaking about Hispanic countries in the Caribbean. So that's where Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic and Cuba come into the factor. But if you look at when DR gained independence, it wasn't around that time. Puerto Rico is a commonwealth.
Yeah.
Cuba, their situation, was just recent. So that's why I was just like, we're acknowledging being Hispanic, like the culture and stuff, and celebrating it, but also like people need to understand where this comes from, where it stems from. So ultimately, it's a celebration for everyone, but the main focus was the celebratory independence of a few countries in South America. Not saying that Dominicans and Puerto Ricans shouldn't, and Cubans or whoever shouldn't like represent and be happy and be like engaging in celebration with this around this time. We all should, because we managed as a whole, everyone managed to break free from Spain basically and from being colonized. But we got a ways to go. And also I feel like people that are not even Hispanic are repping this way more and like trying to like, oh, congrats, all this stuff. And it's just like, I still need reparations.
Yeah, I think it's also, like they said, celebrating the contributions that these people have made to society, I guess, as well. But I think from some of the research I made was the reason why they picked that odd time is because of, like you said, a lot of those countries gained independence. But happy Hispanic Heritage Month is definitely, we wanted to talk about it, highlight it, and throw it out there, because obviously we're two proud Latinos here. But speaking of Latinos, Karoll G, would you say, Ms. Tang, that Karoll G is the Latin Beyonce? And I asked this because she was just at Gillette. I know. She was just, for the people who are listening to us and not watching, Melanie's face answered it all. But I'm going to let her get to it, but real quick. But some real quick thing, Karoll G was at Gillette. She's winding down from her tour. And she also had a stadium tour this year. And she sold out Gillette Stadium, which is in Massachusetts, Foxborough, Massachusetts, basically Boston. And she's the first Latina ever to sell out that stadium. And some people, listen, I love social media as well sometimes, because some of the topics I get because of you guys and what y'all be putting out there. And someone put up there, is Karoll G the Latina Beyonce. Right away when I read that, I answered it to myself, but I have to ask, I want to talk about it because, our circle friends, you guys, and obviously my girlfriend, I want to get your opinion on your Aquarius sister. Be nice.
Listen, just because you sell out a tour or an arena does not make you Beyonce. It does not make you the Spanish Taylor Swift. She has a ways to go. She still has the same, if you think about it, her range in music and stuff, it's very one note. I like Karoll G. I like listening to some of her songs. Her album is really cute. I give it like kudos, 10s across the board. And it's very female empowerment stuff. To compare it to Beyonce is kind of a stretch.
It's a stretch.
Vocal range is not there. Performance-wise, I don't think that she performs like Beyonce does. Even creative direction, it's not like Beyonce. So that's a little crazy to me. Even comparing her to, let's say, back in the day, Britney Spears doesn't compare. Karoll G.
When you say Shakira, they did a collaboration together. They're both Colombians. They're both Aquarius. When you say maybe the new, younger, up and coming Shakira, that's what I thought to myself. No, not even Shakira. Oh wow.
Let me tell you something about Shakira. And I used to listen to Shakira growing up because
My dad loved Shakira. Me growing up as a kid, he loved her. Her and Sade.
I liked her. I love Sade. Sade's my mom. Shakira, I liked her a lot too because she used to sing in Arabic. Like my mom's father was Lebanese. So my mom used to play a lot of Shakira. But if you listen to Shakira's music and her albums, they all have different ranges. The type of music she had was different. Like there was a song, Donde están los ladrones? If you think of that music, her music, and when she did the crossover, it was always different. Even when she did like the
Whenever, one of my favorite songs.
Yeah, Ojos Así is a great song.
Yeah.
But again, Karoll G doesn't give. She's very one note. She doesn't give different types of like vibes. Even to be honest, like all she does is reggaeton, and I've never really heard her even do any cumbia or anything like.
I've heard some stuff like a little when she does collaborations, like maybe a little bit of the bachata flair, depending on who she's collaborating with.
Yeah,
but you're
like
right,
the
it's
song
mostly
with Romeo,
reggaeton.
That's reggaeton. Like I think she's a great not collaborator, but like as a guest on someone's song. Like she comes on and she adds a verse and it pops off. But again, I don't see her doing different types of like genres. She's not there yet. She's not elevated. So that's great. She has a great, I mean, the only reason she probably sold out the arena is because her following is like a young demographic. You don't see, I mean, let's be real. I don't think I would see grown ass 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds.
Yeah. Yeah. I funny enough, this Foxborough show, I guess because I do know a lot of people in this area, like the Boston area, the Rhode Island area and stuff. Yeah. I've seen a lot of people I know that I follow on social media that I know from back in the day or loosely or whatever post. And no, one of them was I love her, Evelyn, and I'm not gonna give Evelyn's. And Evelyn watches. Evelyn follows it the Circle podcast. So shout out to Evelyn. My soul sister who loves to travel. I mean, I'm not gonna give away her age, but she's a mother, and I think her oldest child is almost in their 30s. So I would just leave it at that. Shout out to Evelyn and her.
And that's cool, but like you just said, she has a child. Right?
She has grown kids. Well, 2 grown kids and then one.
But for
the most part, you're right. Younger people.
Like remember when we went to go see Bruno Mars and we thought it was gonna be all grown and sexy, and it was like little baby hooligans.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
very much that.
You're right. Yeah, but yeah, to compare her to the Spanish Beyonce, no, not close, not yet.
She's great. No. She's not there yet.
Not yet. She's definitely getting up there. Like collabs with Nicki Minaj. Congratulations. I mean, selling out Gillette. Congratulations, but. Beyonce, and for any fans who try to ask that, no.
While we're on the topic, let's do another comparison because people could say the same thing about Anita and Madonna.
Oh, hell no.
Absolutely. Exactly. No. Just because she has sex appeal and just because she sings and dances like the way Madonna used to do it back in the day, like very raunchy, that doesn't mean that she's giving Madonna numbers and that she's like selling out arenas and shit like Madonna.
You know who I've heard Anita actually be compared to more, and just by the fandom and the comments and stuff? I never heard Madonna. So that's why I'm like, hell no. But Britney, I've heard a lot. Even before she's become big recently, Anita, like when she was starting to break in the US, a lot of like Brazilian Latino fans that love Britney and love her compared Anita to Britney. And I'm like, I guess because Anita has stated that she likes Britney and loves Britney and influenced by Britney, but I don't see it either. I don't see it.
She's cute.
She's cute, but I don't see it. And I like Anita when she had more meat. Now I feel like she's too skinny. Like, I don't know. I liked her before she became Americanized. You know what I'm saying? I feel like now she's American. She's too skinny now.
Before she became mainstream.
Yeah, she's too skinny now. Like, I liked her body then, and her body wasn't bad then. I don't know. But who am I to tell a woman what they should do with their bodies? Y'all do whatever y'all want. But anyways, some TV, RuPaul's Drag Race. We was just talking about we're gonna get Mama Ru's new book memoir that's coming out next year, March, I believe. But something new that RuPaul just released was the season 5 of RuPaul's Drag Race UK, and we both felt a way about this. And mind you, we've liked the UK seasons, the last 4 seasons. We love RuPaul. We've been to DragCon a few times when he has done it in New York. Listen, I just mentioned he will be one of my dinner party guests. Like, he's an inspiration. But we're feeling a way about RuPaul's Drag Race as of recently. Even the American versions the last few years. The queens are becoming forgettable. And I told you this. Forgettable in the sense that, like, when we go back to the earlier seasons, we could throw out names of queens that it's just like, yeah, that bitch. Like, Alyssa Edwards, the Rajas, even the Carmen Carreras, our controversial sister with the eye, with the fishy queen with the eye stuck in her head. I'm having a brain fart with her name. Our trans.
Her face is in the tip of my.
You know, and I'm so mad we're forgetting her name because we talk about not forgettable queens. But the point is, when it comes to Gia Gunn, Gia. Yes. So it's like it's becoming so much, and you compared it to something that hit it on the nail because I was also a day one America's Next Top Model, Tyra Banks fan, and I followed it all the seasons, even when they started including the men and all that stuff and try to do different things to kind of, keep it going. It's becoming very that. Like, you compared it to that, and it's becoming very that. Like, honestly,
it's becoming very saturated.
Saturated.
It's to the point where now, like, did you see that they have RuPaul's Drag Race Brazil? I tried watching Mexico. It was not giving.
But he doesn't host all of them, though. He doesn't host all of them. He doesn't host.
He like, I guess, lends out the name and the franchise. Like,
yeah.
The
it's like a McDonald's.
And stuff. Yes.
You can buy a McDonald's, but got persons that own McDonald's. Yeah.
As far as, like, I think the appeal is still there. Don't get me wrong, because people still watch. Yeah, I just think that now it's more so the queens are not giving as much. Listen, I'm old school. I like campy queens. I like queens that actually know how to sew. I like queens that actually were very smart and creative with their aesthetic. And when they were given a challenge, they had like a background behind the reason that they made a dress or behind their story. And I think a lot of these queens are look queens, and they're selfie social media queens that know how to get people's attention by looks, but they have no depth to them. And some of them are old, some of them are young. Mostly the young ones are the ones that are not memorable. But again, there's so many young people watching the shows now that they solely focus on, like, young queens because they can relate. Whereas older queens, it's kind of like they're basically shunned and they don't give them the time of day. They don't even tip them in bars.
And that's where they're losing us as viewers. The people that, like, started the show over, 15, 16 years ago? You know what I mean? Watching the show, we're older now and we're seeing all these baby queens. And listen, everyone deserves a chance. But I don't know. And we've discussed this too. The last few seasons now, I think since season 14, right, of the American version, and we do this every time a new season premieres. We talk, we voice text each other like we do, and we are comparing, like, oh, why does this new queen reminds me of this queen from season 5? Why does this queen looks a lot like this queen from season 3? This queen looks a lot. It's like
did you notice? They're not hiring. They're basically bringing in sisters of sisters or moms.
Yeah. Like Sasha Colby was on this past season, and 2 seasons ago, Carrie Colby was on. Although Sasha is the bigger one of them. She's a mother of the house. And when we say mother of the house, that's a term in the gay community, people. Okay? You need to understand some of these terms, like mother. Doesn't mean we're calling them mother. It's just terms that we have in the community. But yeah, just have to explain that, some little school case.
that word is used loosely in the gay world, in the LGBT world, because a lot of mothers who are actual biological mothers don't accept
They didn't want their
their own
kids.
kids.
Exactly.
So you can't be upset or offended if someone uses that word loosely. That to each their own, it's their prerogative. Anyway, as far as drag queens go, I think that RuPaul has done a great job of giving exposure to these queens and like making a brand out of this shit. The drag cons, the Wild World of Wonder, the Voss events. I forgot what else. Like the
The
drag,
Vegas show that
the
we
Vegas
going to
revenue.
go to. We going to go to.
Knock on wood. But I don't know. I just feel like they should take a break or do something. I mean, they did the celebrity drag race and it was cute or whatever, but like, I don't know. It's becoming too much too soon. He's becoming Tyra in my eyes, Tyra Banks. And look how Tyra ended. She's not being canceled for all the bad shit she did back in the day.
I still love Tyra though.
I still love Tyra too. Don't get me wrong. She was great, but she was a little tone deaf in a lot of the things she did.
But listen, with that said, you gotta think time. The time it was, the time where things were. Yes, like as humans we evolve, and even myself, I look back at shows or things, or even myself, I put myself in situations or ways I've acted or things I said back at a certain time. But it was I don't want to say it's acceptable, but maybe like you said, like people were deaf to it or blind to it, or it wasn't really that like that. I don't want to say big of a deal, but you get what I'm saying. But now with time and wisdom, you're like, oh yeah, maybe that was a little not too cool.
You know, when it comes
we
to
can't really
canceling
judge
people,
that.
when it comes to like canceling people or like calling people out for shit that they did in the past, I don't care if it was something stupid, if they made a dumb remark or they offended someone. If it hurts people in the process where it affects them long term, then that's a problem. But if it's like a comedian making a fucking joke about a certain culture and like making everyone laugh about it for that moment, haha, it was funny for them, let's move on. 2024, 2023, whatever. Like, it's not that serious. But if you like cause harm or cause someone mentally to break, like for example with Tyra Banks and the top model whole modeling crew and stuff, a lot of the top model contestants have said that Tyra did things and like people in the show, producers and everyone that worked there did things and said things to the contestants that till this day have affected them.
Now, do
So
you think let's because this is a topic of conversation. This is very big right now, especially us. We are Bravo. We are podcasts about everything, but we both of us love Bravo and the Housewives franchise and all that stuff.
yeah.
With that being said, could you say the same thing about the Bravo universe and Andy Cohen included? Because there's a lot of people that have come out, and even something. I'm not gonna lie. I love Daddy Andy, and
I loved and
that will
Daddy
be my
Andy
hall
too.
pass.
But
I got a hall pass, I think, with Andy. I will be let a hall pass or at least a treyway with Andy in my booth. But there was something today that I was like, someone pointed out, and I was like, yeah. And Andy Cohen, at the end of the day, he's just not the host of Watch What Happens Live or the host of the reunions. He's an executive. He's a boss, okay? And I'm inspired by him too, the way I am of RuPaul. With that being said, someone pointed out something. I mean, there's been allegations and things for a while going on. But someone pointed out something petty, but I'm like, it's kind of true. Last week, Jenny McCarthy and Heather Dubrow were on Watch What Happens Live, and they played one of those little shady games, like a wheel came out and asked shady questions. And basically, the question was to Heather Dubrow, which one of the housewives in her cast home would sell for the cheapest, the least?
oh yeah.
And Heather did it. I say what you will about Heather. I don't watch OC like that or whatever, but Heather didn't answer. She didn't take that bait. Andy though, no, she could. She's a Capricorn, so she could go there if she wants to, but she's being classy.
She's very classy though.
Andy though went there and threw out Gina. I had like what this certain blog kind of presented. He was like, "What type of boss does that?" Basically, Gina is his employee, and you're basically saying, "Oh well, Gina, well she has a little casita or a casita." So I kind of got that point. So it's like, could you to make it all tie in? Could you say the same thing about Tyra and like some of the things she's afflicted to what they're comparing and this whole reality reckoning that Bethany's trying to do, and a lot of people in the past have spoken about Andy Cohen. Could you say the same thing maybe applies to him in this situation?
I'm not saying this as a fan. I'm saying this as a person that watches both and has experience with reality TV and housewives and everything. No, it doesn't compare, and here's why. Tyra's show, Top Model, was a competition show, reality competition show, the same way as Making the Band was. So these people knew what they were signing up for. They were signing up to be top model. They were signing up to be in the band. They knew that they were going to be put in elements and in situations that had made them compete, and they had to stick out. How they did it with the producers and how Tyra went about it, that's questionable, and obviously that's a topic of conversation.
But it's the same thing for housewives, though. They're saying that a lot of housewives are supplying blue booze. They don't eat, hardly eat. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate. I love the housewives, but I'm reading a lot of reports too, and a lot is coming out about this with this reality reckoning. And they say the same thing. They don't feed them food. They give them booze first. They put them in hostile environments.
So even the most problematic housewives like Kelly Dodd have said that that's not true. If Kelly Dodd, who's very left and basically will tell it how
I found that weird too.
No contract with them, and she's saying it. That's bullshit. How many times do they
She's trying to get on an ultimate growth trip, in my opinion, but go ahead.
And also on top of that, like with the housewives, you could eat. They just decide to film scenes where they don't want to be eating because they don't want to look like fat asses. A lot of them also have thought of their looks more than they think about anything. So do you think that they're going to be eating pasta or eating a bowl of fucking food or whatever in front of a camera? No.
I like Monica. That's why I like Monica. Monica, she's eating.
As far as the Gina comment, I think the only reason that Andy did bring it up is because that was a topic of discussion a couple seasons ago, where Gina had to leave. The whole domestic abuse situation happened with her and her ex-husband, and she had to leave and she had to downsize. That was her storyline for that whole season, where she was downsizing to a small house. She kept comparing her house to Heather Dubrow. It was the season that Heather Dubrow came back. And
so last year.
She was calling it a casita and saying how small it is and stuff. So if you keep bringing this up as your storyline, it's going to be like brought up. However, do I agree with Andy using her as a reason, as an example? No, but also it's not something that other people haven't said. Everyone talked about it, even Vicky, which she looked like. Vicky's annoying, but her bringing that up and being like, yeah, you do live in a small house. It's obvious. And to be honest with you, as a viewer, I want to be in a housewives fantasy where everyone is like rich and like living this life that I like want to be in. The last thing I want to do is see someone living in an apartment that looks just like mine. So, not to be rude, but Gina.
I guess you can't be poor. You can't be on the housewife if you're poor or middle class. You have to live in a big house for our Kanye West twisted fantasies.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
let's be real. Yeah, like you're living in Orange County, whether it's Coto de Casa or wherever.
You're not the only one who said that. I've read a lot of comments that said that she shouldn't be on the show.
No, but this is my issue with her is that she's literally complaining about living in a small ass house. Babe, you live in one of the richest counties in the United States, in California, one of the richest places, like zip codes, and you're complaining that your house is too small. Your house is probably 3 times the size of my apartment, and you're complaining. So again, like she wants to make that her storyline. That's great. but it doesn't.
I
It
get what you
doesn't
mean. Yeah.
go. So
Well, listen, not too far from California, right in Las Vegas, it was just announced that Usher will be headlining this year's Super Bowl. And as soon as I read this, well, first of all, Super Bowl is going to be in Vegas. So I'm like, it all makes sense. He's like right now the king of Vegas. It's a show that we've talked about that we want to go see. So hopefully when we go see RuPaul's Drag Race, we can make it or plan it where they're both performing in that weekend / 4 days. Because we will never do Vegas again for a whole week. We would never do that. We kind of did that our first time. And we learned that we would never do Vegas almost a whole week because it's like, okay, what now? But if we could do what we did when we went to see Ricky and Britney in one weekend, we're going to do it again where we're going to see the drag show and Usher. But yeah, he was announced for the Super Bowl. What are your thoughts? I know a lot of people was excited. I know some people were surprised. I'm not surprised. I've been having conversations outside of the podcast about this. Jay-Z is one of the producers for the halftime show, Rock Nation. So in the last few years, it's been very much
urban.
Rock Nation. There you go. Thank you. Rock Nation-ish. I know there's people. Listen, Usher is big, but there's a lot of people. I had this conversation where it's like, oh, everyone knows Usher. I'm like, no. There's some country bumpkin somewhere in the deep Louisiana that may not know of Usher or right now saying, oh, who the hell is that guy? I don't know his name. I don't know.
Are you crazy?
Not everyone knows.
Everyone knows. Yeah. Remember Lil Jon?
Let's go deep into these country bumpkin states. Like, deep into these states, even if they're big like Texas, but deep into these communities of like older generation. Let's say people who are still, remember, Melanie, a lot of these football fans are men, right? Girlfriends, yeah, women, yeah, but it's men from all ages because we have kids who love sports because of their fathers, and then we have older men. Some of these older men in their 60s, 70s could not name an Usher song if we stopped them in wherever they are, like Crappy Lake, and be like, name an Usher song.
Could they name a Shakira song? Could they name a J-Lo song? Could they have named a Rihanna song?
That I'm sure a lot of them, the last few years, feel the type of way under the production of Rock Nation.
I really feel that NFL is trying to move towards like a different demographic also, younger, more modern, less problematic, less left. I mean, or not left, less like conservative.
Yeah.
Less, favoring of certain past presidents and shit like that.
Yeah, so and because what the NFL went through with the whole kneeling and all that stuff and racial stuff, I also think that's part of it where they're trying to appeal, like you said, put more urban out there during the halftime shows.
Yeah, well, also I think that if you think about music today, you're not hearing songs from Garth Brooks or Kenny Chesney or all those people that demographic goes towards and listens to that type of music. Like, let's be real. What Grateful Dead, they've been retired. Yeah, I'm sorry. So I don't think that they're catering to them anymore. Granted, they are the top people that watch NFL and football shows and shit and root for the teams. But also, if you think about, and I know it, I'm claiming it in the name of Jesus, the Philly Eagles are going to go to the Super Bowl this year again.
You heard it here first, October 4th at 8.
And this time they're going to win. Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone in Philly is going to have an issue with Usher, so...
Yeah, I mean, I listen. Usher is a good choice, and funny enough, I said this to my boy. I'm like, oh, watch him drop an album, and funny enough, like a day later, it was put out there. His album drops that same night or a day later or something. Yeah. So he's releasing his new album. Oh, I do like the a song that he has out right now with 21 Savage and Summer Walker. Good. That's a good song.
Yeah, that is a good
shout out to Usher and Diddy because they're putting me on to 21 Savage. I've heard of 21. I've heard the name loosely. Now, if you ask me and stop me in the street, name a 21 Savage song, I will be like, huh? I couldn't even rap a song. But
Really?
I love his verse on Good Good, and I love his feature on Diddy's new album. It's Diddy, The Weeknd, French Montana, and 21 Savage. And I'm learning about 21 Savage because of these older cats. So shout out to Diddy and Usher for putting me on to 21 Savage.
He's awesome.
But yeah, so Usher Super Bowl, I think it's gonna be great. He has the hits. Anyone who says he doesn't have the hits, you're living under a rock. You need to get cultured. Even I know Sweet Home Alabama. So if I know Sweet Home Alabama, you can learn. Yeah. But yeah, looking forward to the Usher performance at the Super Bowl. Who do you think he's gonna bring out? Any guess you think he's gonna bring out? Do you think he's gonna do a Rihanna, pull a Rihanna thing and just do it solo?
Rihanna was greedy. No, I'm kidding. I think he's gonna bring out Lil Jon. I think he's gonna bring out Ludacris for the performance. He doesn't really have. I'm trying to think of how many songs that he has with
females,
people.
Right?
With
other people.
Not females. I mean, I think he has a song with Beyonce, but he has a lot of songs that is just
Alicia Keys, My Boo. That's a
huge
song for him. But I doubt he's gonna do a mid-tempo song for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he has so many. I can't wait for him to do You Don't Have to Call, You Remind Me.
I can see him doing You Remind Me.
Caught Up. Did I say Caught Up?
No, yeah,
that's a good song.
You make me want to leave the one I'm with. I mean, hello, yes. You got to go back to the basics. My way. Well, I says go. My mom used to play that album a lot. Shout out, because of my mom, obviously, I'm into Usher because she used to jam to that. My Way, You Make Me Want to Leave the One I'm With, all those songs. But looking forward to Usher at the Super Bowl. Listen, this fall, we was talking about it. We're ready to fall. It's gay heaven. Gay heaven. With all the Housewives show. Now, Wednesdays are going to be lit. Not only is the Inner Circle podcast on every fucking Wednesday, but Chucky is going to starts tonight, Wednesdays.
Oh, gosh.
The challenge starts in 2 weeks, Wednesdays. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills trailer was just dropped yesterday. It's going to be on a Wednesday. And the week after, Real Housewives of Miami, which the trailer dropped today, is going to be Wednesdays. God. Your thoughts real quick on the Beverly Hills Housewives trailer, which dropped yesterday, and the Miami Housewives trailer that dropped today. Which one do you prefer? I have my thoughts about Beverly Hills in particular that I want to give. Specifically, Kyle, I see you. But what are your thoughts about both trailers, and which one do you think looks the best according to the trailer?
To me, I'm going for Miami. That's literally what I'm waiting for. Beverly Hills, I'll watch just, for shits and giggles. But I feel like this all of a sudden, Mauricio and Kyle are having issues years later that people been speculated for decades.
Lisa Vanderpump has speculated and started seasons ago. You didn't listen to her.
I feel that it's still going to be, Beverly Hills will have a storyline, but it still doesn't bring it. It's still very above the surface, even with their arguments, even when they're trying to keep it real. Erica Jane is trying to come back and win everyone's hearts after the whole bullshit situation she was in. I'm not buying it.
Bravo is because they're giving her a 2 or 3 episode commercial following her gearing up for her Vegas residency. After, I guess, at the end of Beverly Hills, the way that Teresa had her 1 episode commercial at the end of Jersey, they're going to do that with Erica Jane. So Bravo loves a good con. I mean,
they're trying.
Allegedly,
Are they helping her sell tickets? Because her tickets are $14 right now.
$7 depending where you look.
But yeah, I know you're excited.
So my thoughts, definitely Miami's trailer was better. My thoughts on the Beverly Hills, I'll definitely watch it like you said. I do feel like a lot of their drama is just really, girls? No, you're cracker girls. Yeah. This is what we're arguing about. But with that being said, I'm gonna say this. Kyle is an actress, people. At the end of the day, Kyle's an actress. And this whole Mauricio and Kyle thing, are they maybe truly separating? Maybe. But I truly feel they're all in it together. She's in it. I listen. If I know a Cap, and not to say all Capricorns are like this, but a few years ago, I was approached by a friend who's a Capricorn for a reality TV show. I'm not gonna go into details, but basically, this person was like, "Oh, come on," and basically, you would have to pretend to date this person, and she's a trans. And I know they say reality TV is scripted for the most part, but I'm not gonna go on a reality TV show and be fake and lie completely. I know some things you're gonna have to maneuver and kind of stage, but I'm not gonna go on a reality TV show and be fake. But that being said, I know Capricorns like to produce and stage shit, and I really feel she's doing that with this season. I truly feel that. I know she called allegedly. I know she be calling the paparazzi. Look at all the pictures with her and this allegedly lesbian lover, whatever her name is, younger, like 25 years younger than her.
It's so annoying.
It's just like, I just think a stage. Honestly, I think a stage, and we cannot forget that Kyle is an actress. She was a child actress at that. She's an actress, and I think it's pinkish, and Mauricio's in it. Maybe they are separated for real, but they're still putting on a show and faking it for their own up and ups. Kyle to still be have a storyline in Beverly Hills, and we all obviously know Mauricio has his own show, and now he's on Dancing with the Stars. So come on now, come on. I live for the applause. That's my theory.
I have a theory. I think that Mauricio has cheated on Kyle before, and she swept that shit
I believe it too.
For the kids for the longest because she didn't want to look like Boo Boo the Fool, and she didn't want that psychic bitch, whatever, being
right,
correct in what she said.
And I can see that. Capricorns would do that.
So now she's getting her lick back by like hooking up with X, Y, and Z or whoever the fuck with this lesbo. Yeah.
Hey, lesbian. We love our lesbians.
What's wrong with lesbo? What's wrong with that word?
Some people may find it insensitive. Or derogatory. Yeah, it could be.
I love lesbians, and lesbians love me. Anyway.
They do. They do. Trust me. I know firsthand. But with that being said, so much housewives talk. Let's play a game. It's that time. We're nearing the end. I know. Can you tell? I need a jigsaw. If anyone finds a jigsaw shirt, please, so I can wear it next year.
Absolutely not. That shit is scary. I would never buy you that.
Another reason why I went, another thing to go back, not to harp on it, but me dates. For example, movies. Not everyone's going to like the movies you like or the styles of movie you like. So sometimes you got to take your ass by yourself to go see that movie, which I did. But now we did, last week we had special guest Marie Lopez on the show, and we chopped it up. We talked many things, Bravo, Housewives Jersey, and we also integrated a new game, Housewives Trivia. And, you and I, Bestie Edition, had to chop it up and do it and put the test on each other. So we both picked a city. I picked New Jersey, because I don't mind a bridge and tunnel. And my girlfriend here picked New York. So we are going to quiz each other on our Housewives Trivia. Me, Jersey, Melanie, New York. So we're going to do 7 questions. Actually, no, 6 questions. Let's do 6 questions each. And we're going to go back and forth. Ladies first. Since there's no ladies in the room, I'll go first. No, I'm just letting it go. I don't say that. Go ahead. What's my question?
In season 1, who had a family member premiere alongside them? Is it A, Caroline, B, Teresa, C, Danielle, or D, Jacqueline?
That's tricky. But I'm going to say Caroline because Dina.
Correct. I don't have the answer key. I'm just going by memory.
What do you mean you don't have the answer key?
You didn't send me the answer key, my love, but it's fine. I'm smart. Anyway, number 2.
No, it is. It is. Look at your screenshot, at the last screenshot, and flip it around. The answer key is right under. You will see. You see it?
Oh,
Yes.
I see it. Okay.
Was that correct?
Yes, you are correct.
All right, good. Your turn.
Number.
No,
Okay.
we gotta go back and forth. 6 questions each. In season 3, which housewife renews her vows with her husband? A. Ramona, B. Joe, C. Kelly, or D. Alex?
Renews their vows.
In season 3.
Ramona and Mario.
Correct. You got it. My turn.
Your turn. Okay. Whoa. Number 2. How many housewives were pregnant at the first reunion? Was it 3, 2, 1, or none?
2. Jacqueline and Teresa.
That is correct.
All right, Your turn. Despite Andy's prodding, what does Ramona refuse to discuss at the season 6 reunion? A. Her daughter's choice of college. B. A recent business development. C. Botox. Or D. Details about her marriage.
Details about her marriage.
Ding, ding, ding. You got it.
She was like, Andy, let's talk about who you're going to have sex with tonight. Anyway, number 3. In season 2, who do Teresa and Joe ask to be their baby's godmother? Rosie.
Dina. Got it. Next. All right, cool. When Bethany returned to the cast in season 7, what was her relationship status? A. Married to Jason. B. A widow. C. Getting a divorce. Or D. Single.
In season 7?
When Bethany returned to the cast in season 7,
she was.
What was her relationship status? A. Married to Jason. B. A widow. C. Getting a divorce. Or D. Single.
Getting a divorce because she just recently got divorced. Finally.
Yes, you got it. My turn. So is this question number 4 for me?
Yes. Caroline's daughter, Lauren, goes to what kind of school? Law school, beauty school, business
Veterinary school.
theater.
Wait, no, wait. You said Caroline.
Caroline's daughter.
All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I thought you said, I was thinking Dolores.
Well, listen to the fucking answers. Caroline's daughter, Lauren, goes to what kind of school? Law school, beauty school, business school, or theater school?
Beauty school.
Correct.
Yes. Who is Dorinda dating when she is introduced to the cast in season 7? A. Harry Dubin. B. John. C. Tom. Or D. Richard.
No, Richard.
John, you're right. Yep, you got it.
Okay, number 5. What does Jacqueline's youngest son get diagnosed with? Autism, ADHD, cancer, or epilepsy?
Autism.
Yeah, Nicholas. Sad.
Mm-hmm. Who is the only housewife featured on season 8? A. Jules. B. Ramona. C. Tinsley. Or D. Sonia. Who is the only married housewife featured on season 8? Who is the only married housewife featured on season 8? A. Jules. B. Ramona. C. Tinsley. D. Sonia.
Tinsley's never going to get. I'm sorry.
We know it's not Tinsley. Yes. Okay, my last one.
Your last one is, why did Dolores divorce her ex-husband, Frank Sr.? He snored too much, he cheated, he didn't like her cooking, or he gained weight?
Cheating.
With a Dominican woman. Bloop. Last
What news does Bethany find out in season 3 that is life-changing? A, she has a buyer for Skinny Girl. B, she is pregnant. C, she is adopted. Or D, she is starring in Chicago on Broadway.
She wish she's pregnant.
Yes, and it's a
tie. We're not tunnel vision. We don't just watch one franchise. We're worldly bitches. No,
well, that was fun. Yeah. That was fun. I mean, now we live in a censored world. People may be thinking we're taking shots, but we're not. It's just our banter. That was fun. It was a great show. Now, really quick before we go, are you gonna be watching? I think we brought up. No, we didn't bring it up, but I think we did in a way. Makes sense. David Beckham's 4-part episode series on Netflix.
Yes, I was literally watching a clip and I was like, oh my God, I gotta talk to Charlie about this. Yeah, I really do want to see it because I love Posh and Becks. I've followed them forever.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
always liked I've always liked David Beckham because of Manchester United, but also like he and Victoria Beckham, like they made a they're I hate to compare them, but like they're like Jay-Z and Beyonce in the sense where they
Oh my
stuck
God, yes.
together to
Yes.
through what is it, thick and thin.
Can we call them, would it be a lot saying, and maybe some American people get mad at this, but like, can we call them the original Jay
Yeah.
Z and Beyonce, because they've been together before, Jay Z and Beyonce, and they built a powerhouse. I mean, they may be from the UK, but they're rich, honey, too.
And
They're rich.
they had people try to get in between
They've been
them.
kidnapped. Yeah, that like infidelity. A kidnap hit on them back in the day. Like that was very big. I don't know if you remember that. But anyways, I'm definitely gonna be checking that on Netflix. Something for you guys to watch. We want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Today was a jam-packed show with so much to talk about. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you like, share. It means a lot. Subscribe. Next week we're back with another new episode. It is spooky season and we are living for it in 3 weeks. And we got to start talking about it in 3 weeks. Our annual Halloween special where we dress up and surprise each other. We're doing it again. It's just a thing. It's a thing. And we're gonna surprise each other. We're gonna surprise you guys. We're not gonna review anything, so you guys have to sit in for that. And we have a special guest also coming in to chop it up with us and have fun on that Halloween special, October 25th. So we're looking forward to that. Join us next week for another new episode. Love you guys. Again, like, follow, share, subscribe. You can catch us wherever you catch your favorite streaming services, wherever you stream your podcast. See you next week. Adios.
Ciao for now.